Hey guys, it's Symonne. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. One thing I love to do is talk a lot, so I decided to do a story time. I couldn't focus just on one story, so I'm gonna do a bunch of mini ones, and then if you guys want me to go more in detail about another one, I'll do a separate video on that. Starting off strong, how I met Billie Eilish. If you guys don't know, Billie Eilish is my absolute favorite musician, besides my boyfriend. He's great. I love her so much. I have gone to 3 of her concerts. I listen to her songs on repeat. Absolute idol. Love her. I'm obsessed. And before I even knew who she was, I actually met her. I was at the Apple store and she had her platinum hair at the time and I just thought it was really cool. I think I was around 12 or 13 at the time. And I just complimented her hair. She said, "Thank you so much." And everyone was freaking out that I had talked to Billie Eilish and I had no idea who she was. And a few months later, she blew up. She maybe had 600K on Instagram, so yeah. A random day in September. So, September is my boyfriend's birthday month, and he had a mini concert kind of just to perform his new album that he just came out with. And at this time, we've been talking for it's about to be a month. And I really started to like him, and he had this song and one of the lyrics was "I'm falling for you," and there's this whole kind of verse about it, and it's so cute. If you guys want to listen to the song, it's called Falling Part 2. But he sang to me on stage. It's one of the things you see in the movies where the guy's singing to the girl he likes on stage. Oh my god, I literally didn't know what to do. I froze and just stared at him it was literally a fairy tale. They're so cute. I have to say that's probably my favorite memory from September. But yeah, that was so sweet and it's gonna live with me forever. Worst fear and why? Okay, in a relationship, being cheated on, which shouldn't be a surprise. But just overall, fears is losing someone I love, whether that's or losing someone out of my life. Just the thought of losing someone I love terrifies me. How did I start YouTube and why? So I'm originally from Ohio. I came out to LA when I was 11 and I moved here to pursue my acting career and dreams. Then once COVID hit in March 2020, the entire acting world just shut down. There's no auditions going on because they're all in person and they didn't even know if acting was gonna be a thing because of being in the same workspace as everyone without masks was crazy at that time. So I've always watched YouTubers and I always thought it was so fascinating. I loved YouTube ever since I was little. And I just felt very a part of everyone's life when they would vlog and just film videos. I always looked up to those people and I was always really inspired. So one day I decided to just pick up a camera and yeah, that's how I started YouTube. Trust me, there's some really really cringy videos on my YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever deleted a video off my channel, so I'm so sorry. Please do not stalk me as you're listening to this right now, but if you do, bless your eyes and ears, please. This one's about my dog, Cali. When I got Cali for the first time, I've never had a pet before her. Currently, she's 2 right now, but I literally was begging my parents my entire life for a dog. My dad told me when we moved to LA and we had a house that we could get a dog because we could kind of just let it in the backyard because it was really tough for our family with an apartment. So the day we moved into our house, which I am in now, I asked my parents for a dog and we started looking at it and I found Cali online actually. I FaceTimed the breeder and I just fell in love with her. I knew she was my dog from the start. Her personality, the way she moved, she was very spunky and that's how I am, which sometimes is an issue because we fight a lot, but it's fine. I just knew I wanted her. I actually filmed a YouTube video getting my dog. You can watch it right here. She was so cute and tiny. She was supposed to be 4 pounds, but now she's currently I think around 16. She's supposed to be a teacup Maltipoo, but the breeder did not sell us a teacup, clearly. But my dog's great. I love her. She's literally the cutest. This one's about mental health. I feel I don't really touch on the subject online, but off camera, I talk about it a lot. I don't know why, I just feel it might get boring. But mental health is something I've been working on for, I would say, the good past year, probably a little bit longer than that. And yes, I'm only 16, so I was going through a really rough time when I was around 14, 15, and I just got in this routine and it was not normal to what I thought it was. I kind of branched out to some other things and the people I chose to be around after that definitely wasn't the best either. When all of that ended, it really just I thought the world was ending because I just didn't have anyone left, I felt but now I'm in a really good place with a lot of amazing people and I'm so thankful that all those really bad occurrences happened, even though they suck, because if those never happened, I would never be friends with the people I am today. And I don't think I would have the opportunity to be friends with them because I wouldn't be at the right point in my life and I wouldn't have figured out things that I would have needed to figure out yet. And obviously everyone has hard days and stuff like that. And recently my mental health hasn't been the best. I'm just kind of like in a weird funk. Ever since I went back home, I've been in this weird funk of my body is also telling me I need a lot of rest. So I feel like it's also just a really weird month. A lot of changes have been happening and it hasn't been easy on any of us. So yeah, I'm kind of right now, but that doesn't mean I won't get better, because I will. I always come out stronger than I was going into it. And you do too. If you need me, I'm always here. My DMs are open. I met Sofie Dossi. She's one of my best friends. I got close again with Sofie like really recently. I would say within like the past year and a half. We're both just kind of doing our own thing, but now we hang out at least a few times a week, which is great. I missed being close with her. So I actually met her when I was really little. I saw her doing her contortion stuff, and I've seen her on either America's Got Talent or like doing YouTube and stuff. And it was on my dad's birthday. I was at this, if you're from LA, you know, it's called Universal City Walk, and she was filming a brand deal YouTube video. And I just went up to her and I was just in awe of her. Like, I loved her so much. As I got to talking to her, she asked if I wanted to be in her YouTube video, and ever since then, we just always kept in touch. As I got older, I met her when I was 12. We just grew closer and we had more of the same problems, versus when I was 12, I didn't even know what was really happening. But yeah, she's great. That's how I met Sofie, and we have been friends for, it's about to be 5 years in April. My favorite vacation, this is really hard because I've been to so many amazing places and I'm so grateful for that. But I feel like my favorite vacation spot is Turks and Caicos. I know that for a fact. I talked about this in my most recent Girls Talk, which you can watch here. I don't know which time was my favorite. It's somewhere I would go every year on my birthday. I feel like every single time I go, it's different. I have to say, this is kind of a random trip, but I always just bring it up as one of my favorites. If we're not talking about tropical, I would say Texas and New York. Those are obviously both in the US, but I just love Texas because I've been wanting to go there forever, and it felt a lot like home. It definitely had the city vibe, but it still had the suburbs, and it just really felt like I was back home in Ohio. Especially the restaurants and everything, it's stuff I don't have in LA, and it just brought me so much nostalgia, I think, and that's why I loved it so much. I would definitely go back. I kind of went when it was really hot, but I went to my first ever football game there at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and it was so cool. But yeah, I love Texas. New York was amazing also. I definitely want to go more holiday-esque. I went in May, so it was just starting to get hot, but I would love to go at like Christmas when it's like snowing and cold. If you live in New York, you're probably like telling me, no, you don't want to go, it's way too cold. But I think it's a really nice vacation, and I just felt so alive and awake, and there's so many things to do, and it's one of those places you always see in the movies. So it was so cool to actually be there. This one says a beauty tragedy, which actually, I think it was in the beginning of COVID. Obviously, everyone has hair on their face. I needed to get my eyebrows done, but I had this like little tool at the time, which I thought would work well. And it was just supposed to remove like the little pieces of hair like in between my eyebrows, because like if I can't go like right in that second, like I still don't want to have that. So I went to go remove it, but the issue was it was like a round like hairless remover thing. I don't know how to describe it. I went a little bit too much to the left and shaved off half of my eyebrow. I was literally like in tears for days. So I started using an eyebrow pencil, but it still like looked so odd. It looked so weird though, because you can tell like this is my actual hair, and then just stopped right here. And like all of this was just penciled in. It literally looked so odd. I don't know why more people didn't ask me about it. It was a very big mistake. This one says Jake at Disney. If I'm telling you a story time about Jake at Disney, we were at Starbucks. I wish Jake was here to tell the story with me. But basically, we were at the Starbucks inside Disneyland, and he just ordered his normal, you know, iced oat milk vanilla latte. And we're all at the window, and I was with a bunch of my friends and my boyfriend and Sofie. And he goes up to grab it because they call his name, and it's in a hot cup. And I knew from the start he cannot do a hot coffee. Spoiler alert, after he tried it, he's obsessed with it, and he gets hot coffee most of the time. But at that point, he like can never drink hot coffee. So he goes to grab it, and I don't think he meant to say it out loud because it was just like a thought in his head. But he grabs it and says, "This is supposed to be iced." Like, screams it almost. But he's not screaming at the worker, he just like screamed it out loud. But he still took it and didn't complain about it. Here's a photo from when it happened. We were all literally in tears because he quite literally made the biggest scene at the Starbucks. But yeah, that's one story of Jake at Disney. It was so funny, like everyone was laughing. A lot of the questions you guys asked I already talked about in Girls Talk, but if you want my like first kiss story or first relationship story or my relationship now, any of that kind of stuff, maybe I'll do separate story times about that. I just feel like I talk about it so much, I don't want to repeat myself. Last story time, but this says when you first thought about starting a business. So if you guys don't know, I started my first business when I was 6 years old. So at the age of 6, I invented this product called Bear on the Chair. You guys can go look it up for yourself. This is what it looks like. I invented it with the intention of it helping kids learn right from wrong in certain situations, even though I was a actual child myself. But it actually took a different turn and we started using it a lot of the time for autism. It helps a lot with autism because it helps anyone express their feelings through patches, because if someone has a non-verbal type of autism, it could be really difficult to communicate. So that was honestly like the coolest thing ever when I got told that this is being used for more things than I thought it could ever be used for. So that's my first business, but now I have my own makeup line, which is Ennomys Beauty. I love it, I'm wearing it right now. And I have my own merch clothing line. That's just called Ennomys Apparel, sticking with the Ennomys kind of concept. If you guys don't know, Ennomys is my name spelled backwards. But yeah, maybe I'll do a separate video kind of talking about how to start a business or what really goes into it behind the scenes that nobody knows. But I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my mini story times. Thanks for letting me talk. I just really needed it. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.